Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I'm laughing because it's funny. I'm thinking as early as it is this morning. Here I am again before you doing my daily work to share with you what has been given to me, the enlightenment, the clarity of the path to true living that I want to share with you. You know, I think about how we live and how far it is away from the way God lives or God advocates for us to live. In the words of the scriptures, it has said that it was indicated that in my Father's house there are many mansions. Many mansions. Now, saying to everyone, you know, whatever our idea of a mansion is, and we know what we think about mansions. Few of us got them. But in my Father's house, there are many, many. So what it's saying to me is that it's about that idea and even more. But as much as we can get is an idea. And so I think about that in comparison to the way we live. And it almost makes it comparable to, you know, in prisons or back in the day, and perhaps even today, when guys and people were in prison, they would be lent out to do labor for others at a discount. And this was the way of making money and just using people for slave labor. And it reminds me of when we think about what we do in our society. Yes, what we do addresses the basic concerns that we have. That's no doubt. But the way it's handled, it pays you. You get a salary. You go to work for. Who are you working for? Who are you working for? And who is deciding to pay you and what rate they pay you and how that rate measures in the standards of living and who gets the highest standard and who gets a lower standard based upon decisions that have been made by others that is affecting you in all kinds of ways depending upon how well you can apply yourself in this arena of chances of dog eat dog. And in the end of the day, there is always a loser. In a system like men have devised, there is always a loser. And you ask yourself, why is there always a loser? There's always a loser because there's always a one that you don't even suspect. And they are associated with a secret society. And because of their respectability amongst societies, secret societies, they are able to do and accomplish all of the things that have been accomplished by humankind. They called the devil's advocates. They can't really hide themselves because they are identified by what they do. And what do they do? They lie, they cheat, they steal, they do whatever is necessary to distort, to divide, to conquer. Everything is open to them for exploitation. And what it has done to us, ladies and gentlemen, have robbed us of our lives. We were not made to live like this, to respond to someone else's purpose of life. And all we have to do is play a part in it for whatever their ends are. And we never know what their ends are. But we just get paid to do that little part that we do. We really don't even know what it really serves. Let's get the money. Why? Because the money allows us to do a measure of living. But at what expense? At the expense of losers. Losers. That's what lying and cheating and all that stuff is about. To take advantage of people. But not God. This is what's so amazing, that they don't want you to know the truth of God. This is why, my friends, when you are hearing the truth of God, something happens, and it is not allowed where the devil's advocate reigns supreme. You see, where the devil advocate reigns supreme, there are those in positions of power to do all kinds of devilish things. We have seen people stand up and lie to our faces, and people who we thought were respectable individuals sit up and stand up and back a lie and shock us. Like, who would imagine that on January 6th, a mob of so-called American lovers, patriots, would attack the center of power, beating and all kinds of flags, not a flag that represents every kind of hate that's going on, claiming to love an advocate over here named Donald Trump, and were upset because the nation was saying we don't want to deal with this particular advocate, and gonna beat him up and force it on him. Can you imagine? Who in America thought that? The only people that thought that are those advocates that were a part of planning this and were waiting for it to happen and hoping for it to happen. Nobody else believed that. And it happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is being made clear as day to all of us, and we should be able to see it, that we do have an opportunity to change things. You see, they are trying to, in America today, they are trying to set it up so if you ever think about changing things around to make things righteous and justice, they want to do what happens in other nations, take you out, I don't know, and hurt you, make you take this stuff, put you in a school and teach you all of the lies that you and I know are lies. But our children, our grandchildren coming into that kind of environment won't know that they are lies, especially if we sit back and take it, especially if we sit back and fall in line, especially if we do not resist. So resisting is okay if you're doing it for a great cause. And what is a greater cause? The greater cause is that eliminates the losers. And when everybody is a winner, it is because God is running the show. And what is God running the show? It means that we respect one another and we do not agree with anything that causes pain and suffering to one of us. Unless all the rest of us say, let's find out what he needs. It kind of sounded strange there for a minute when I thought about that, baby. But what I really want to say to us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, is that like yesterday morning, many of us going to get up and do the same things today as we did yesterday. Some of us are going to go to jobs that we don't like. Some of us are going to go to jobs that we like because, hey, for one reason or another, we are blessed. And some of us are going to have to get up and recognize that today problems are just starting all over again. No job, all kinds of expenses, all kinds of things needs to be done. Even if you do have a job, you don't have the kind of money that would relieve the pressure. And then there are those out there who are getting up from the mission, from the shelters, and going to other shelters to eat. Thank God they got someplace to go. This is the expression of democracy, capitalism, socialism, communism, dictatorisms, and every piece of government that mankind have been able to muster. There's pain and suffering as an outcome, even at the best of them. Where is the best of them at? Don't ask me. You go around, if you start looking from the bottom, pain and suffering, you're going to find it everywhere. So you might as well go right back to the drawing board and sit back at that table and understand that there's one thing: you do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And you back that up. Do unto others as you'd have others to do unto you. And if you did that, you would make sure that every last one of you got access to food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, transportation, anything that the minds of men can imagine, and the hands go to work and cause a manifestation thereof. Because it is the gift of God through us, to us, to live as though we're in heaven, and not to be bound by liars, not to be bound by those who cause hatred and racism and prejudices. And today, every last one of us in America, we are bound by that every day. I don't care who we are. I don't care what a position we hold, what presidency we represent. I do not care what you do. Every last one of us represent an anti-God system in America. Because if it's not working, it's not God. And I know that many of you say that we're doing what we can do. Well, that's all you can do. I'm asking, because I declare to live on earth as if we are in heaven means you're going to have to do more. And it's not really causing you to do more if you know the truth. The truth is very simple, and I'm going to get ready to close. The truth is very simple. If you know the truth, then it is worth dying for, because the truth never dies. Your body might die, but the truth lives on. That's why. That's why, my friends. That's the great threat. That's the great threat to society of the devil's advocates. That's why we are killed. And when you run across somebody out here that that's loving God like that, they will constantly say that they are doing this trying to be killed. Now, some of them might be kind of pushing it. Not all of them are trying to rush death. But they know when they come to face it, hey, God is real. So let me just leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so very much. I hope you got something out of what I'm doing. Oh, it's after 5 o'clock now. I talk to you later.